Hello, hello, hello. We're back. Week 4 Fantasy Outlook. Just a quick recap of what's going on in the Fan TV League. I'm in first place. I don't know how. I scored 81 points last week, a total 245. Derek, the show's host, is in second place, 79 points, 238 overall. Third place, Ruckus Forever Our City, Chris Watson, 71 points, 234 last week. Fourth place, Purple City Lions SC, 75 points last week, 233 overall. And Christopher Adams, Mo Molino, 71 points last week, 232 overall. So then we have some honorable mentions. Bodinators, Chris Dustin at 7 fell out of the top 5. We had a Sean Gerd from City Soccer Talk at 11. Chris Whalen jumped probably 20 places last week. He was in the low 20s, and now he's 13 overall. So I think that's somebody we're all going to keep our eye on. He had 77 points last week.
He's a real dark horse.
222 overall. Then going down the list here to the bottom 5. Let me just scroll down. Okay, bottom 5. Lisa Raymond, 39 points, 127 overall. Steve Simones, 54 points, 131 overall. 48, Jake Beavers, Purple Fortress, 456, 45 points, 137 overall. 47, Jeff Thompson, Broken Cauldron Tap Room, 49 points, 138 overall. And that sums it up. And I actually want to give Wes Kirk another shout out. He's been asking questions every week. He started in the bottom 5, was in the bottom 6 last week, and now he is at 41, moving up the board. So props to you for trying to make your team better, Wes.
Hey, man, nothing like a green arrow. Even if it's 49th to 40th, it's still a green arrow, and that's something you want to look forward to every week. Even if it's like 5 places, I'm still happy to see that green arrow. That's how it was for me last year, starting off in like 140th in the Orlando City League, ending up in about 25th place at the end of the year. You just keep getting those green arrows and play these EGWs, and before soon you'll be up there. You'll be high up. Just make sure we're captaining the right players.
Well, all right. Well, you can just start right in. The camera's on you.
Speaking of that, a lot of y'all captained David Villa last week, and everything said he should have scored. He scored against us before. I think he scored against us last year. But either way, everyone's like, oh, we're captaining Villa. He's at home. He always scores at home. He's playing Orlando. Seb Hines sucks. We all know that deal. No, he didn't score. Tommy Redding has him in his back pocket. We all know that. That was a great performance from 19-year-old Redding. I did not captain David Villa. Lucky me. I captained Mario Diaz, who scored for Dallas. Ended up with 11 points without the captain, 22 with the armband. I've had 20 plus points from my captain all 3 weeks, so lucky me. My luck's gonna run out one of these days. I'm probably gonna captain Fagundes getting 4 points per week or some shit like that. Yeah, speaking of Fagundes, he pissed me off. But I ended up with 79 points last week, about 500th in the round. At one point, I was like third best in the round, but you don't get too excited about that until the end. Had a lot of decent scores this week. Sasha Klestin finally decided to show up. 4-3 game out there in New York. Diaz showed up. Redding, Hedges both showed up. I think clean sheet for Dallas. So, I got 14 points from those Dallas defenders. My forwards did not really show up. Villa, Jovinko, Laren, I got 1 goal out of 3 of them. And Laren didn't play 60 minutes, so that sucks he couldn't get the extra bonus point. But, I'd rather have him healthy for the actual Orlando City team. Worry about that, because he did score. Piatti had an off week. Fagundes, I don't know what the hell he did. That team should have lost about 5 or 6-0. New England was terrible. But 70 points, not bad. I ended up at I think, 238 for the year. So that's a really good start, averaging about 80 points a week. Combined average, let's see, 52, 110. If you take the averages from all 3 weeks and add them together, it's about 171. So if you're anywhere around there, you're good. If you're above that, great for you. That means you're just consistently above average. Well, welcome to week 4, first double game week. Yay! And it's also the international call-up weeks for qualifiers for African Cup of Nations, World Cup, friendlies, all this other bullshit that MLS decides to play through for whatever reason. So just beware of those red exclamation points on there, but know that most of these players will be back for the second game of the double game week if they are back, like Tim Parker. Excuse me. I could easily transfer him out. I just really don't want to because I know he'll be back for the LA game. And I'm expecting Vancouver to get destroyed against Houston since they're going to be missing both of their starting center backs. That's going to be fun for Will Bruin if you want to take a risk on him because they're playing Houston, who still is scoring just at a very alarming rate. That's definitely not. They're not going to keep scoring at that rate. They're on average like 110 goals this year, so just beware on that. But first double game week, we are stuck with DC United, New England, Vancouver, and Dallas. I hate this double game week so much. Ben Olsen of the double game week nightmare. New England, outside of Lee Wynn, just doesn't have many fantasy options. I mean, Shuttlesworth, Fagundes, whatever you want to think of that. And Lee Wynn's called up to a national team. Vancouver is going to miss half their best players, but they still have Pedro Morales and Octavio Rivero. Christian Bolaños. No, he got called up. Never mind. They still have Morales and Rivero. You're good. And FC Dallas, shit, who are they missing?
Zimmerman, Figueroa. They're missing like half their back line except for Hedges.
But they're not missing any of their offensive players, which is good for me. And I still have Matt Hedges since I know they're going to be back for their game against Columbus. Columbus is struggling to score, and Dallas is way better at home. If you didn't see that game, really good game between Dallas and Montreal. It was 0-0 until about the 79th minute with the free kick goal from Mauro Diaz.
They're going to miss Acosta is their only offensive player who they're going to miss.
So they're missing like half their back line. So just beware for that first game away at DC United, even though DC could barely hit the back of the net. It took a complete Zach McMath screw-up for DC to score last week. If you didn't see it, McMath goes up to catch the ball, flat out misses it, gets fumbled around the box, and right to Fabian Espindola, who scores. But,
and Dallas plays 5 games in 2 weeks, I think. 3 weeks.
2 this week, 1 next week,
and 2 the week after.
You should have. I have like 5 or 6 double game weeks. Let's see. 2, 4. I technically have 4 in my lineup right now. I'm gonna add 1 more at least, but I'm so far ahead with like 240 points. I don't really need to play this with like 8 players because I don't want to screw over my team for the next few weeks and have to use my wild card just because I want to play on this shitty game week. Now, if you're under like 160 points, you should have at least 7 double game week players or more. If you're below 170, you need to catch up, and you need as many double game week players as possible. And if you have less than like 3 double game week players, you might want to consider using your wild card. Or, I mean, if you're under 170, you're screwed. But these are the kind of weeks where you can catch up. Week 4, week 6, and week 8. But week 6 and week 8 have a lot better double game weeks. Your transfers, what's today, 24th?
Yeah, it's Saturday.
All right. Yeah, Saturday at 3 o'clock, New York City versus New England Revolution. I need to make my transfers before that since I'll be at work.
Yep, so you would just jump into that game while we're there.
Yeah, Saturday is also the start of OCB season for those of you going out to Melbourne. But NYC versus New England, I do like NYC in this game. I'm hoping for a draw, but last year NYC won 2-0 at home. Quadro Poku is still not playing. I'll tell you what, Mixed Discrude looked really good last week. He just didn't score.
He'll
He
miss
should.
this game on call up though, won't he?
Did he get caught up?
Yeah.
Oh shit, never mind. Uh, all right, take what I'm going to say about Discrude and put it to McNamara, who looked just as good. They both play in that same role, high attacking midfield. David Villa always likes to score at home. He scored last year against New England, I believe. If you want to keep him, you can. I'm probably going to transfer him out just so I can get Pedro Morales or do the same with Piatti. I'm not quite sure on that yet. That's all I'll decide today or tomorrow. New England, like I said, Shuttlesworth. Just beware. Yeah, I know he had 13 points last week, but it's 2 penalty saves. 10 of those points were from penalty saves, so just beware on that. He should still be good for 8 points and maybe a clean sheet this week. Do they? No, probably not. They play New York. They
They
play both.
play New York and New York. Yep.
Yeah, so I'm hoping for maybe 8 points from Shuttlesworth this week. Then we got DC United versus Dallas. DC United is just they're a good defense, but their offense is just so bad.
So bad.
I mean, yeah, they got Fabian Espindola back. They're playing Lamar Nagel at striker. Come on. They need Espindola back to do anything. Defense looks good. I think Steve Birnbaum got called up.
I can check. You can keep going and I'll look.
So if he did, Kofi Apare would probably play in a spot like he did last year when Birnbaum was injured. Apare did really well in that, but just know he's probably only going to play 1 game since Birnbaum would be back for their April 2nd trip.
Birnbaum did get called up.
He did? All right.
Yep.
If there's one defender I like from DC United, it's Taylor Kemp. He scored 7 points last week, something like that.
Taylor Kemp has 2 points week 1, 9 points week 2, and 4 points last week.
Oh, jeez.
For a total of 15.
So he does have potential to score higher points, but in a double game week, you're hoping for maybe 8 points. He should get those crossing bonuses, passing bonuses, all the good stuff. And
he'll play both games.
Yeah, he'll definitely play both games. Hopefully he'll play both games. Ben Olsen pisses me off. Travis Wara, if you need a cheap goalkeeper, that 4.1. And with Hamid and Dykstra out, he should start both games. Just note, Tally Hall is actually training with DC United now. So.
We want you back, Tally.
Hey, Joe Bendick actually played well for once. So
I know, but I'm not counting on that being sustainable.
But, yeah, I'm avoiding the entire DCU offense.
All right.
They're terrible.
And Dallas, you want to go heavy.
As for Dallas, I'd go heavier on the offensive players since they're losing a lot of their defensive players for call-ups. That being said, I still have Matt Hedges because he is one of the top defenders in the game. I can't afford not to have him. I have Mauro Diaz on my team still. He's always a good decision, home or away. Better home, way better home. Let's just say that. But he still managed 5 points in a game they lost on the road 5-0. He's a good player, and he's a top fantasy player for your team. So I'm hoping for at least 12 points from Diaz this week. I mean, he can get 12 in a game. So, 12 points in 2 games shouldn't be that big of a worry.
Diaz is the 3rd leading scorer in fantasy right now.
Always a good decision to captain.
Piatti, Diaz, and then Bruin.
Oy, Will Bruin. But, yeah, let's see. I think Gruet still got called up. Fabian Castillo, if you want him, I don't think he got called up. I need to check that list again. By the way, MLSsoccer.com has a list of all the running call-ups. So I know Maxi Arruti didn't, and he scored again last week.
Castillo didn't get called up.
Castillo didn't?
Nope.
All right, so you can add Castillo. He's always dangerous. He's got that fast pace on the wing, and DCU's slow as shit. Maxi Arruti scored again last week. I am so pissed that Opta did not give Jesse Gonzalez the assist for that. A second assist at least, whatever. Fuck you, Opta. I wanted those 3 points. But, Maxi Arruti's 8.5. He's already scored 2 goals, and he's playing DC and Columbus. Columbus just has not looked good. and he and Mauro Diaz have this connection going. So he's always a bet to score at home. Hopefully he score 1 goal at least this week at 8.5. You can definitely take that risk if you have 3 Dallas players. You want to add another one.
All right, Vancouver and Houston.
Uh, Kendall Watson, Tim Parker, and Christian Bolaños all caught up. Wasn't sure Blas Perez got caught up, but you're not playing him anyway. What does Octavio Rivero have to do to score this year?
Well, I mean, he only scored at the beginning of last year.
I mean, he scored like 8 goals in 10 games beginning of last year, it seemed, including one against us. But he hasn't scored this year. He's done everything except score.
Yeah, only 8 fantasy points.
And then you got Pedro Morales being like Kaká last year with 3 penalty kick goals in 2 games. Whatever. Either way, Pedro Morales is always a good decision. Houston's defense they got up and then they looked like crap. They lost that game 4-3 in the game they should have won. But thanks to Felipe, they didn't. So.
All right, now here we're at New England's second game versus Red Bulls.
I don't know what to think of this. Like I said, New England's offense isn't the greatest. I'm not touching any of their offensive players. Maybe Lee Wynn's back for this one. I don't know. Really don't know.
What do you think? Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, what did you think about the resurgence of New York last week?
I liked it for fantasy purposes for Sasha Kljestan and Felipe. Felipe and McCarty really, really needed a game like they did. And hopefully, that just brings up Felipe's confidence with his 2 goals, both of which were just wonderful goals. And Sasha Kljestan looked really good last week. But the big thing is, Gonzalo Verón left that game early with a hamstring injury. Shit. Yeah. Me and Chris were looking forward to him being a fantasy force, especially with this price point.
Yeah, 9.
Yeah, but to see him go off in the 30th minute with a hamstring injury it wasn't good.
And his hamstring was bad. That's why he missed the first game, too.
I mean, New York used all 3 subs on injury substitutes, all for hamstring injuries.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's Verón, Gideon Ba, and Ronald Zubar all left the game with hamstring injuries for like the 60th minute or something like that. Either way, Mike Grella scored, Kljestan scored, Felipe scored twice. That's all good for fantasy purposes. So, if Verón's out for any length of time, Grella's going to start again. But, yeah, I'm really not sure what to think of that. New England's better at home. New York finally found their goal scoring form. This is a game that could either be 1-0 or like 3-3. I just don't know. This is why you never bet on MLS games. Chicago versus Philadelphia, skip. Although we do know who takes penalty kicks for Philadelphia now, and it should be CJ Sapong, but it's not. Ilsinho took the first one, missed. Got taken off. Sebastian Letou took the second, missed. And it should have been CJ Sapong since he was on a hat trick at the time of both of those penalty kicks. So I think as fantasy owners are pissed about that, but I'm not going to argue with 17 points for Sapong. And I don't think Akam will play this game. Chicago looked like crap like they usually do without him. Matt Pulser at 5.5 if you really want that. Campbell looked pretty good. I just use their defenders as auto subs. Really, they have like 0 fantasy value for your starters.
Yeah, and Philly's. I don't think Philly's actually that good.
I really think this is false form for them. I mean, their fans obviously hope not. I'm just waiting for them to get Barnetta back and see how well they play with him.
All right.
So, I mean, Philly will be in playoff contention hopefully this year.
Hopefully not for us.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll be in the playoffs already by the time they're worrying about playoff contention.
Yeah, I said last night that I think that we would top out at a 3 and at the lowest are a 5.
Yeah.
All right. So next game, Rapids versus TFC. Jervinko.
Yeah.
Next one.
Yeah. The thing about Colorado is their offense sucks. Stop it. Gashi hasn't done much. If you really want a cheap striker, you can go with Baji, who's going to start. Stop it. But thing is, they're not going to score a lot.
Dude, I've been playing Schoberg, and I don't even feel comfortable doing that this week against Dravinko.
I would not play the Colorado defense against Toronto this week. I would use them as an auto sub. But if you have them and have to play them, I'm fine with that because they've allowed 2 goals in 3 games. Each of their games have been decided 1-0. They're 1-1. They had a 1-0 win, a 1-0 loss, and a 1-1 away draw. So
at least they're not getting thrashed.
Yeah, they're the thing about Colorado's defense is that they're not going to lose you points on these goal bonuses, and if they do, it's only 1. They're not going to lose games 4-0. They're going to lose games 1-0.
I mean, you know more than me, but that seems kind of like a bend don't break kind of deal in fantasy. Like at least you know Schoberg will get 2 points for playing 90. Maybe they give up a goal. Maybe he gets a defensive bonus, ends up with 3 points, 4 points.
The thing with Schoberg last year is that he'd get a ton of CBI bonus points, at least 2 a game. So if Colorado got a clean sheet, he usually end up with 8. If he didn't, he usually end up with 4, which his price point was great. And he got, I think it was 2 bonus point. No, one bonus point. He was another clearance away from another bonus point. But he was a clearance machine last year. He averaged about 8 or 9 a game in his 14 games played. And he had 7 last game. And if he's anywhere near that every game, he doubled his total from the previous 2 games. So if he gets 7, 8 a game, you know, he's a good auto sub, spot starter. He's got a double game week in a couple weeks. Cheap player. Why the hell not?
All right. SKC versus Real Salt Lake.
No Kyle Beckerman. No Jamison Olave. I love Dom Dwyer at home.
Okay.
Yeah. And Brad Davis's goal should have never counted.
And what do you think about the SKC defenders? Some of them are kind of leading the way points-wise.
I like Coelho. I love Tim Melia. He's an under-owned goalkeeper. I love Tim Melia. I'm just not sure to think of their double game week rotation when they get healthy. Because they do have a power back. Who backs up Beasler? They have like 4 center backs who could play. But I think Beasler's a safe one. He should be a good bet to play both games.
But he's called up this week.
No, they do a double game week in week 6.
Okay.
If one of the center backs gets swapped up, it's probably Coelho, even though he's playing really well right now.
I mean, Coelho has 28 points. Myers has 20 points. Beasler has 19 points. Dia has 17 points. Like, yeah, they're some of the leading defenders there.
I mean, you could pick up a SKC player with confidence. Just, I'm not sure how Peter Vermeer's DGW rotations are going to look like.
Okay.
I mean, he's not that big of an asshole when it comes to DGWs. So, I mean, I feel more confident as offensive players like Dom Dwyer.
All right. So, and nothing with Real Salt Lake?
Jamison Olave was due for a stupid red card.
I think Plata's like the 3rd leading striker too.
Oh yeah. I don't know when their first double game week is. It's in the double digits, but Joel Plata's was playing really well. Scored a wonderful free kick goal. He just looks really dangerous. He's taking their corners and penalty kicks. He's pretty much the only player on that team I'd add right now.
For 9-3.
Yeah, Ura scored his first goal, so as soon as he decides to start scoring, you can add him. But yeah, they're going to be out Burrito Martinez, Kyle Beckerman, and Jamison Olave. Whatever. I'm not touching that defense this week.
All right, now we've already gone over Dallas, so let's do Columbus.
No.
No? All right, we'll move on.
I don't know what happened to them.
Who cares? Fuck them.
Their players aren't fantasy options until they start scoring. Let's just say that. But if you're gonna own someone, own like Gostin Sara or Steve Clark.
Right.
I thought their defense would be the problem, not the offense.
Seattle versus Montreal.
Seattle, you got pro'd twice. And I'm sorry about that because it cost you.
Welcome to our life.
It cost you a clean sheet, but whatever. I'm not complaining. Even shits had 7 points last week. He takes free kicks, corners. If you want to keep him, you can keep him. If you want to add Fagundes because he's on DGW, I'm not going to argue with you there. The rest of the team just hasn't showed up. Jordan Morris, Clint Dempsey, hello? Are you even there?
I think Morris is injured.
Yeah, it's not about like a head injury. I don't know.
Yeah, concussion.
But they just aren't scoring.
No.
They miss Obafemi Martins, and they won't admit it.
All right. So Montreal?
They got shut out on the road by a really good team. I'm not overly concerned about that because Dallas is a really good team in their own right, and Montreal is a good team in their own right. I was just hoping for some really good soccer. There was nothing they could have done about that first goal, except don't foul Mauro Diaz close to the 18, I guess.
I'm not missing anybody on international call-ups either that matters.
No, that's the thing with Montreal is that they're not going to kill you with call-ups because Drogba's not getting caught up by Ivory Coast. Piatti, for whatever reason, is outside his national team picture. Oh, and he plays for Argentina. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. And then their defenders have been – Kleiman's been good, but it's expensive. Cabrera and Toya are middle of the pack.
If I'm going to pick a central defender, I'm going to pick Cabrera. Not because he scores a lot of points. He'll get you about 4 or 5 a game. It's because Laurent Simon is due for a stupid red card. He and Jameson Olave they have this thing with stupid red cards. And knowing Laurent Simon, he's going to wait till his first EGW, do something insanely stupid, and get sat out for the second game.
All right.
I'm just waiting for that to happen.
We've already gone over Vancouver, so let's go to Galaxy.
They're on the road. Don't play them.
All right. San Jose, and here comes DC again on their second game week. So what about San Jose?
Wondolowski and America are underrated fantasy strikers or under-owned. Wondolowski's a maddening fantasy player because he'll go on just these rolls and lulls and all that like Will Bruin. But, I feel confident in their team.
What about their defenders? They got some defenders that are putting up points too. They got Barndez with 16, Wynn with 16.
Who is the first player?
The first player is Bernardez.
That's another player. Bernardez is due for a stupid red card. I like Marvell Wynn, even though he's a wingback. He likes to get up the field, gets those crossing bonuses. Midfield, actually, Kip Colby's on the other side of the field doing the exact same thing. 4.5.
Yeah, why is he playing at that low? Like, because Francis is injured or what?
Yeah, they have like 85 injuries on the left back position.
So do you think Colby can sustain playing time? He had 0 points last week, but against LA.
He had 0 points because Simon Dawkins got a red card.
Okay.
So that they played the entire second half down a man.
Because they got a double game week coming up in 6. So for $4 you can get a player who's going to play two games in 2 weeks.
I think he's like 4.3 now because of the 0 points. So he's actually cheaper than the usual defender minimum and very, very easy to pick up. So if you need that, extreme budget defender until Francis gets back, why not go for Kip Colby? I mean,
in this week versus DC, we already said we don't like DC's offense.
San Jose at home, I'm thinking they're going to get a clean sheet, but that's really only if Clarence Goodson plays.
No, we don't know if he's going to play or not because he's got the little red thing by him.
Yeah, I have no idea why he didn't play. I think it was like something about back tightness.
Back tightness. I got burned on that, but I had Reading, so I was good. All right, let's get now the game we all want to hear about: Orlando City versus Portland.
Why isn't Tommy Reading on your team yet?
Well, he's on my team. He's been on my team since week 1.
Like if you're watching this and Tommy Redding is not on your team, pause the video, do whatever you can, and put him on your team.
And can I pause you for a second?
Yeah.
And I've been the biggest Tommy Redding homer for like the last 5-6 weeks. So, that you've heard about Tommy Redding playing and being good. It's not like, he's just having this magnificent season out of nowhere. Okay, that's all.
Now let me check out his damn it.
I have it up. What do you need?
Clearances.
Redding clearances. Okay, you can keep going and talk about the game, and I'll find that for you.
But as far as Orlando, I don't know if we'll have Nocerino. I haven't really heard much about his hamstring.
I thought they were waiting to get a scan back.
They were?
That's the last that I heard. That was 2 days ago.
All right. Our defensive midfielders are actually not that bad of fantasy options. I think they both had like 7 points last week. But they get a lot of recoveries, a lot of clearances, passing bonuses. Both of our defensive midfielders are bonus points machines. And they like getting second assist too. That's always a good thing, especially for Seren.
And moderately priced too. Seren is 6.7 and Higuita's 7.1.
Let me check Seren's.
And I don't know how to look up clearances.
I think Seren had like 9 points last week. Let me check that. Yeah, and he's cheap because of that first week red card. Yeah, it shows he has 6 points, but
Seren had 8 points last week.
Yeah, he had 8 points. He had a -2 because of the red card. Then he had 8 points. 8 points for he's paying off his salary. I mean, 6-7. He's gonna keep rising in price because he's gonna get these bonus points. And speaking of bonus points, the leader in MLS Fantasy bonus points is in this game.
Valeri.
Yes, it is. Diego Valeri is averaging 5 bonus points per game.
I think he got 8 bonus points last week.
Yeah, it was some bullshit amount. So did Ronald Matarrita for New York City. It's like, oh great, I love that extra points. And speaking of Matarrita, I think they have a double game week 6. Week 8.
Yeah, he got called up this week too, though. So
yeah, so for week 8, look at Ronald Matarrita, but that's way down the road. Week 4, Kyle Larin will not stop scoring. He can score with any part of the body,
Okay, Valeri got 6 bonus points last week and got 2 points for 90 minutes played and finished with 8.
All right, so Diego Valeri should be on your team. He's not on mine. I'm gonna add him after this week. I feel very bad saying that he's not on my team right now.
It's funny. I don't have him either.
But yeah, he will be on my team because they have 2 double game weeks in week 6 and week 8.
All right, so that covers all the games. You want to pick a one budget defender just to put it out there for somebody?
What's the maximum price? Like under what?
5.5.
All right. Redding.
Okay.
Hoberg. Tip Colby.
People we've all talked about. Okay.
Yeah.
And what about captains? Who are you going to captain?
Mauro Diaz.
No questions?
No questions.
All right. And who'd your second choice be?
Probably Pedro Morales.
All right.
Did we get any fan questions?
From Wes Kirk, we got a fan question. I gotta look it up. It was Wes. Hold on. We'll just finish up. Wes, I'll message you, or Derek will message you because I don't have it. I'm not prepared today. I'm sorry. So,
no worries. All right.
Because that was the only one we got.
Thank y'all for listening. I'll answer your question, Wes. Rest of y'all, good luck this week. We'll see you for week 5. Prepare for this week. Prepare for week 6. Just do what you got to. Other than that, good luck.
All right, that's all for our time. Thank you for yours. That is Fantasy Outlook Week 4. Peace out.